Okay, let's start with a little thought experiment. So imagine you're at work, you're doing your job, you're, completely in the zone,
Right. Focused.
and then you blink, and suddenly the fluorescent lights, they're just gone.
Okay.
The computer on your desk, gone. The whole building you're in doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
But you are still there, still doing the work.
Okay.
Now the stakes are literally life and death.
That sounds like, a psychotic break. Or maybe a nightmare.
Usually, I'd agree.
Uh-huh.
But today, we're looking at a story where this isn't a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. A terrifying one.
Ah.
We are diving into a short story from 1974 by Alexander Gorbovsky called According to the Stanislavski System. And fair warning, this one might mess with your head a little bit.
It definitely does. It's a real trip. Gorbovsky was, a sci-fi writer, but this story, it sits on this really uncomfortable border.
Between what?
Between sci-fi, psychological horror, and like a treatise on art. It asks this really dangerous question. What happens if you pretend to be someone else so convincingly that you actually become them?
And when you say become, we're not just talking about like winning an award.
No, not at all. We're talking about physically exiting our current reality.
Whoa.
Right. It takes the whole concept of method acting to its absolute logical and terrifying extreme.
So set the stage for us. Who's the guinea pig in this little experiment?
Our protagonist is a young actor. His name is Peter, and Peter is, well, he's struggling. He's insecure, he's neurotic, and he feels just completely invisible in the industry.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
Feeling like a small cog in a big machine.
Totally. So to try and fix this, he goes to see a mentor figure, an old veteran actor named Ippolit Matveyevich.
And the contrast between them is something else.
It's fantastic. You have Peter, who's just terrified to even sit down properly.
Right.
And then you have Ippolit, who is living his life as if there is a camera on him 24/7.
The description of him is just, it's
Yeah.
perfect. He doesn't just answer the door, he makes an entrance.
He is a performer in his bones. Gorbovsky describes his mobile actor lips and how he sort of rehearses his advice.
So he's done this before.
Oh, yeah. He's vain, he's grandiose, but, despite all the ego, Ippolit actually knows his craft.
Okay, so Peter sits down, probably sweating, and he confesses his problem. He's got a role in a movie, but he's depressed because it's tiny.
It's a blink-and-you'll-miss-it role. The film's set in ancient Rome, and Peter is cast as a prisoner being led to execution. He has 2 lines.
Let me guess, something profound.
Not quite. He has to scream, "Mercy, Caesar, mercy," and then, "I am innocent."
And that's it?
That's pretty much it. All while the actor playing Caesar just passes by in a fancy chariot palanquin and completely ignores him.
That is the whole role.
That's the whole rule. So Peter feels like a prop, just background noise for the real stars.
Yeah.
But this is where Ippolit drops the hammer. He gives Peter the advice that triggers everything else. He tells him, there are no small roles, only small actors.
Ah, the classic theater cliche.
It is, but Ippolit, he operationalizes it. He tells Peter that to make those 2 lines matter, he has to stop acting. He needs to use the Stanislavski System.
Specifically, what part of it?
Specifically the idea of sense memory or emotional recall.
Okay, break that down for us, because I think most people hear method acting and they just picture actors, gaining a bunch of weight or staying in character at lunch.
Right, and that's the superficial version. But Stanislavski was about a deep psychological fusion between the actor and the character. It's not about pretending to be afraid.
It's about actually being afraid.
Exactly. It's about recalling a sensory memory of fear that's so vivid your body just involuntarily reacts. Your pulse races, your palms sweat. You aren't simulating the feeling, you are experiencing it.
Okay, but Peter doesn't have a memory of being a Roman prisoner. How does that work?
So Ippolit invents one for him. And this is the key. He doesn't give him some heroic backstory.
Yeah.
He tells Peter, "You are a thief. You stole a chicken."
A chicken. That's it. That seems pretty low stakes.
Well, on the contrary, the specificity is what creates the reality.
Yeah.
It wasn't just any chicken, it was a speckled, rowdy chicken from the market.
Whoa.
And Peter wasn't caught because he was some brave rebel. He was caught because a slave tricked him. It's humiliating. It's pathetic.
I see what he's doing. If he told Peter, "You're a noble freedom fighter," Peter would puff his chest out and, look like an actor.
Precisely.
But a chicken thief, that makes him small. That makes the desperation real.
Exactly. Ippolit tells him, "You must believe that this Caesar passing by is your absolute last chance for survival. If you can make yourself believe that, you cease to be an actor. You become the prisoner.
So armed with his mental image of a speckled chicken, Peter heads to the film set.
Right, they're shooting on location in Crimea, using the coast to double for Italy.
And the atmosphere on set is important here. Right?
Oh, it's critical. It is the opposite of immersive. It's boring, it's hot, and it's deeply, deeply artificial. You have the Masovka, the extras, just standing around in fake armor smoking cigarettes. There's a guard with a toothache. It's a job site.
And then you have the stars.
The social hierarchy is brutal.
Tell me.
Ippolit is there, looking magnificent in a toga, and he's chatting with the superstar who's playing Caesar, a guy named Belopolsky.
And they're separate from everyone else.
Oh, totally. Standing apart from the rabble, gossiping about trips to Turin, dropping names like Fellini, talking about whose wife is sleeping with whom.
It's a complete bubble of elitism. And Peter is on the outside of that bubble.
He is, and that isolation, it becomes fuel for him. While they are gossiping, Peter is off to the side, forcing his brain to visualize that cursed chicken. He's doing kind of self-hypnosis.
But it must be hard, right?
Yeah.
The real world keeps poking through.
It's a constant friction. He sees the camera crew, he sees the assistants with megaphones, but the biggest anchor to his reality to 1974 is the tourists.
The tourists.
Yeah, the resort public. People on vacation standing up on the rocks in shorts and sunglasses, looking down at the film set. They are watching the fake Rome. And Peter looks at them and feels this cognitive dissonance. They don't belong in his world. There are glitches in the matrix he's trying to build.
So he has to actively block them out. He has to basically delete them from his perception.
And this is where the danger lies. The brain struggles to hold two contradictory realities at once. I am Peter in 1974, and I am a prisoner in ancient Rome. Cannot coexist.
One has to win.
One has to win.
And then the director calls action.
The procession starts. The noise builds. Glory to Caesar! The extras are shouting. Peter sees the palanquin approaching. And because he's done the work.
Because he's wired that neural pathway.
Yes, the chicken thief. He doesn't just act. He snaps.
He throws himself at the procession. He screams, "Mercy, Caesar!"
And Gorbovsky writes that something trembled in the air. It's this subtle shift, like a pressure drop before a storm. Peter screams his second line, "I am innocent." But instead of the director yelling, "Cut!" Peter feels a sharp, agonizing pain in his ribs.
The guard kicked him.
Hard. Real hard.
Wait, but why? Even if the actor playing the guard was, really into the role, you don't actually break someone's ribs. That's a lawsuit.
That's Peter's first thought, too. He's confused. The guard screams at him, calls him a son of a harlot, and tells him to stand up. The violence is visceral. It's not stage combat. It's hate.
It's real hate.
So the scene just keeps going. No one stops it.
The procession moves on. The crowd just swallows him up. And Peter's left in the dusk, gasping for air, trying to understand why the crew didn't stop it. He steps out of the crowd to find the director and complain.
He's looking for the safety net, the real world.
He is. He looks for the camera truck. It's gone.
Gone.
He looks for the assistants. Gone. He looks up at the rocks where the tourists in shorts were standing, those anchors to the modern world.
Let me guess. Just rocks.
Empty, sun-baked rocks. The tourists didn't just leave. It's like they never existed. That is horrifying. So it's not that the set changed, it's that the context changed. The frame around the picture disappeared.
And that's when the panic sets in. He turns around, and the guards spot him. And these are not the bored extras smoking cigarettes anymore.
No.
Gorbovsky describes their faces as predatory. They see an escaped prisoner.
And the props. The swords.
One guard draws a sword, a short Roman gladius. And Peter, who knows what a prop sword looks like, realizes instantly that this metal is sharp.
Oh, no.
It's pitted, it's heavy, and it's meant to kill him.
So he runs.
He runs for his life. And this chase scene is where the physical laws of the world officially change for him.
What do you mean?
In a movie, armor is a costume. It's light, maybe it's plastic. Here, the guards are slow because iron is heavy. The physics of 1974 have been overwritten by the physics of antiquity.
So he escapes because the reality is too real. The guards are literally weighed down by their own actual armor.
Exactly. He scrambles up the rocky slope, tearing his skin on thorns, gasping for breath. He hides in the boulders until the guards finally give up and go back to the road.
Okay, so now, at this point, if I'm Peter, I'm thinking I've had a stroke. Or maybe the crew is playing a massive, cruel prank on me.
That's the brain's defense mechanism, right?
Yeah.
Denial. He climbs up to a high plateau, and he's expecting to see the highway. He's looking for the Sputnik Hotel, which was this big, modern Soviet resort nearby.
He's looking for something familiar.
He's thinking, if I just crest this hill, I'll see trucks, I'll see asphalt, I'll be safe.
He doesn't see the hotel.
He reaches the top. No hotel, no highway, just a vast, empty landscape.
Yeah.
And in the distance, a wooden cross
Rock.
with a man crucified on it, birds circling above, and below, a strange, ancient city that is definitely not a movie set.
Wow. That imagery. The crucified man. That feels really specific. Why that?
It's chilling, isn't it? It suggests that Peter hasn't just traveled back in time, he has entered a reality constructed by his own subconscious. Think about it. He felt persecuted. He felt like a victim, a small actor being crushed by the stairs. So he birthed a world defined by persecution and suffering.
So it's a form of solipsism. He created this whole world.
That's the implication. He accepted the chicken thief backstory so fully, so completely, that the universe rearranged itself to accommodate that truth. The story says he realizes this. He understands that he did this.
And he accepts it.
He accepts it. He stops looking for the director.
He accepts his fate as a nobody in a brutal world just to escape the feeling of being a nobody in the modern world. That is bleak.
It is. But here's the twist that moves us from psychological breakdown to, like, metaphysical horror.
Okay.
We cut back to 1974.
Back to the film track.
And the director is screaming, "Stop! Cut! Retake!"
Because Peter messed up the scene.
Because Peter vanished.
Vanished. Explain that.
The crew is looking for him. They're just annoyed. They think he walked off the set. But they can't find him anywhere. The implication is that he didn't just hallucinate a new world while, rolling around in the dust of the Crimea.
He physically ceased to exist in our timeline.
Yes.
Whoa. So the tourists on the rocks, if they were ever there, they didn't see a guy acting crazy. They saw a guy literally disappear.
The story leaves the mechanics of it vague, but the result is clear. His belief was strong enough to break the consensus reality.
This reminds me of that Tibetan concept.
Yeah.
What's it called? A tulpa.
Yes, exactly. The idea that if you concentrate mental energy hard enough, you can manifest a physical being or an object, a thought form.
Right.
But Gorbovsky flips it. Peter didn't create a being, he created a whole dimension. Or maybe migrated to one.
Okay, it really makes you wonder about the nature of what we call reality. We assume reality is this hard, fixed thing. The camera is there whether you believe in it or not.
But is it? This story touches on the idea that reality is a collective agreement. We all agree it's 1974. We all agree this is a movie set. Peter withdrew his consent.
He broke the contract.
And the punishment for breaking the contract is exile.
Or maybe it's not a punishment. Maybe it's the ultimate artistic achievement.
How do you mean?
Ippolit Matveyevich, the mentor, he talks a big game about art. But he goes home to his apartment and his tea.
Right.
Peter went all the way. He didn't just portray the truth. He manufactured it.
But look at the cost. He's stuck in a world with no antibiotics, no dentistry, and he's wanted for chicken theft.
That is the tragedy. He trusted his mentor. If Ippolit had given him a backstory that said, "You are a secret prince," maybe Peter would be ruling that ancient city right now.
That's a great point. The small actor mentality trapped him. He limited his own imagination, and that limitation became his cage.
It's a warning, isn't it? About the stories we tell ourselves. We're constantly narrating our own lives. I'm unlucky, I'm unlovable, I'm always the victim. And if you believe that script deeply enough, do you start to manifest the evidence for it?
Do you create the guards that chase you?
Exactly. Peter's story is this hyper-literal example, but we do this psychologically every day. We filter out the tourists, the evidence that contradicts our worldview, and we focus only on the guards.
Wow. I'm never going to look at a method actor the same way again. I'll just be thinking, hey, don't think too hard, buddy, or you're going to pop out of existence.
It definitely adds a layer of danger to the profession, doesn't it?
It does.
But seriously, that ending haunts me. The crew in 1974, they're just annoyed. They don't know a miracle or a catastrophe occurred. They just think an extra flaked on them.
And that just reinforces Peter's insignificance in the modern world. To the director, he was a prop that got misplaced.
But in the world he created.
He is the main character. Even if he's suffering, he matters. He is the absolute center of that universe.
And maybe that's what we all want, on some level. To matter, even if it hurts.
It's a dark sort of empowerment, but yeah, he chose meaning over comfort.
Well, on that existential bombshell, we've gone from a dusty apartment to a film set, and then straight into a terrifying alternate dimension. All because of a speckled chicken.
Never underestimate the power of a specific detail.
Before we sign off, I just want to leave you, the listener, with a question to mull over. We walk through life assuming the scenery around us is solid, the road, the buildings, the people. But Peter proved, at least in this story, that the walls are thinner than we think.
So if your belief has the power to shape reality, what kind of world are you building right now?
And if you decided to change your character's backstory today, would the world change with you?
Just maybe don't try it while operating heavy machinery.
Solid advice. Thanks for diving deep with us.
See you in the next reality.
Take care, everyone.